At the time, probably $7,000,
$8,000. So a ticket to family reunion is early bird price is less than, I think it's $8.99, right? And so if you get one home from talking to 15,000 of your closest KW family members, does it pay for your ticket?
or one idea. Yeah.
One idea that gets you one extra home.
Yeah.
Plus,
And it will, I guarantee it.
family reunion is like the fun one, right? Everybody's hanging out. It's all of everybody, right, Nick? You've been to family reunion, Dan? Favorite story from family reunion? Well, that's why you're talking about being outside of the model today, Dan. Put me on the spot. Nick.
I have been in mega camp.
Okay. Fun, equally awesome, different feel, right? Nick, what about yours for family reunion?
So family reunion, different than mega camp. With my experience at family reunions have been mega camp is kind of like the MREA. It's the big high level stuff. The family reunion is like the strategies and tactics, like how are you going to crush your internet lead gen or open houses or sphere-based marketing. Like family reunion was always the tactics and the little strategies you're going to use. There are these awesome breakout rooms. Any of the Keller Williams events have been really awesome. So family reunion would be one great if you want to dive really deep into a particular topic. And oh, by the way, the weather is nice in Florida. So
right?
Family reunions are awesome.
Oh, by the way, who doesn't want to get out of here in February, right? Like, yeah, get me out of this already snow. What? Questions on family reunion? Okay, sign up. Prices just went up. They go up again at the end of this month. If you are interested, your leadership team can set you up, including your team people. This Thursday, if you do not have a beautiful headshot, reach out to Emma. She will get you slotted in for the headshots happening Thursday. Ash Robinson is one of our agents out of the Bellingham office, Skagit. He actually has a degree in photography, so actually like very much knows what he's doing, can make anybody like myself look fantastic. So if he can do it for me, everybody else is easy. It's only $75, which again, degree in like photography, so wicked awesome deal. Plus, in Skagit, we have our potluck right afterwards. We're doing all the potlucks this month because it's the most holliest, jolliest time of the year, right? So we're gonna have some family time with your chosen family. Because I don't know if you guys are like me, but this is my preferred family. Sometimes, we're recording, don't share that. This is my favorite work family. So December 9th, we have our Skagit potluck, lining up right with, maybe get your headshot before you dive into some of the delicious grub. And then the 21st, you'll notice it's a Tuesday at 11, and today is a Tuesday at 11. So we're already in the habit of coming and hanging out. Instead of watching Maddie yell at a screen, we are going to bring some food and have some fun and hang out with our people. Okay, so December 21st, Bellingham on Thursday in Skagit this week. Make sense? Please don't all bring chips and dip. Register with Venna. We've got like not a roster, but people are so that we don't all have chips and dip and cookies, right?
Last time I came, I went to the Skagit one, and I brought 6 McDonald's hamburgers.
Yep. They all got eaten too.
Did they?
They did. So bring anything, but let us know, because Dawn was definitely the only one that brought hamburgers. Lots of the good stuff. All right, Miss Emma. See, beautiful headshots. I mean, that's not hard for Emma. She can make anything look great. Emma, take us away with our command minute.
Okay, 1 second. Let me just share my screen real quick.
Okay, we can't see you where we are, which is challenging.
That's fun.
But I've got the slides, so can anybody else see Emma? There it is. There it is.
Woo. Okay. So can y'all see my screen? Yay or nay?
Yes.
Okay, cool, good to know. So you're gonna go into command, 1 second, let me just log out to make it a little bit easier. So it's gonna start out like this, and then we're just gonna go over putting in new contacts and filtering them and why that's kind of important. So just go ahead and go to your command, which is another good thing to bookmark, by the way. And then once you're just in your home screen, as soon as it loads, says welcome home because it's cool like that. Go ahead and just click this little thing. You don't have to click it, but it brings out everything so that you can just read it. And then we're going to go to contacts. So this is just an easy description of how to put contacts into your command and your database. So I've already put a few in here to kind of show about, like, you know, how filtering can be important. These are not actual agents. These are entirely fictional characters, in case you weren't sure. So adding a contact, super easy. You just go over right here and you press add contact. And I've got 2 tags going on. I've got adventurer and friend. So I'll just go ahead and put in another adventurer. Yeah. And then you can put in their email if you want to. So I'll just go, because that works out. And then you can put in their phone number if you want to. If not, that's okay. You can put in their lead source, like did you get them from an agent or Boomtown or an allied resource. We'll just say that I got it from an agent and mark it as a lead. And then you can go ahead and put in your tags. And I've already got adventurer, but if you wanted to, you could do something else like, oh gosh, what's a good tag? Like, ooh, I don't know if I spelled that right. That's okay. But you can create a custom tag if you want to. I'm not going to do that, but you can. Anyways, so just go ahead and click on that. And looks like we got a tag going. And then we can just go ahead and add them in. And whoa, look at that, there's one. And if you want to filter it out between your friends and your adventurers, you can just go on your tags, click adventurer, scroll down a little bit, press apply, and boom, shows all of your adventurers. And you can do the same thing with your friends. So I think that's been a minute, but that's how you add in a contact and filter them out.
Awesome. And why would we want to filter with our tags, Emma?
In case you're sending out messages, I would say, like in case you want to send out specific messages, or you're like, if you have friends or if you have like family members and you need to send out a specific newsletter for certain things, it's just really helpful. You can use it for a lot of different things.
Like when we're calling through our people and you want to get just the ones who've already bought from you, right? Or the ones who haven't, or your hots or your colds, or your ones who like dogs because there's a dog park going on, or there's a pie and you want to know that they're the apple pie or the blueberry pie or the whatever pie, right?
Yeah.
Yes. We get E2P, we get purposeful. Cool. And Emma, how can we find out more about our contacts?
You can go to the Tech Thursday trainings, especially this next Tech Thursday, which is going to be at 10 o'clock, and I'm actually going to be teaching it. So yeah, so that you can find that on the link tree. Just go on the Tech Thursday, just click that, and it'll take you right to the Zoom link.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, Miss Allison, I just realized, Allison, what do we need to know in the coaching minute? Enlighten us.
Hello. So I wanted to tell you something good, but I was on the phone with an appraiser at the beginning of this call. So I just wanted to say real quick, I wanted to recognize my my entire productivity coaching group and kind of share their success. We are on pace to do 28 million in total volume this year. 51, possibly 53 closings if everything closes on time. So we are well on our way, and these guys have done absolutely amazing this year. So I just wanted to say congratulations, and let everyone know that our new folks are hitting the ground running. So the only other piece that I have is just to, if you need a link for the showing agents, if you need a showing agent, and you can work out with them, how much you want to pay them per door or whatever you want to do. If you need help, let me know. I know we're all busy during the holidays, and I have a list of people who are willing to open doors for you if you are pressed for time, and they've been trained to do so. So just a reminder on that. And that's really about all I have. I'm looking forward to the rest of the content in this meeting, so I don't want to take up too much time.
Thanks, Allison. That link will be added to the link tree, Nick. Thank you for that suggestion. If you need a showing assistant, they have been trained up and ready to go. Stephanie Johnson, what's going on in our broker minute?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Cool. Well, hopefully everybody's been keeping an eye on the Northwest MLS homepage because they have made a few changes the past month with especially with enhancements to the client portal. So anytime you've got searches set up, individual searches for clients, there's been changes to that, and that's on the Northwest MLS now for you to check out and make sure you understand it, as well as they added different fields and made changes for listing input so that there's more information that you're able to put on there and better describe properties. So make sure that you're watching that Northwest MLS homepage because you can click on the links and go in and see this information right as it hits our screens.
And Stephanie, why would we want to put more information in our listing inputs?
Because as a good listing broker, you want to make sure that you're providing all the data that you can about your property to the buyer brokers out there so they can better sell the properties for you. Because the buyer broker, with all this new terminology that I got to remember, the buyer broker is actually the broker that sells the property, right? So we're not calling them selling agents anymore, but the buyer broker needs all the info they can in order to sell your property.
Yes, and as a buyer broker, are we ever filtering through the MLS for certain characteristics that our buyers want, right? So the more you have on your listing, the more you will show up in buyer searches, right? And the more eyeballs we got on our listing. All about filters today. Good. Any questions on that, gang? Cool. Okay. Welcome. Look, we've got like a bunch of you. Hey guys, new faces in the family. We have Miss Emily Call, Nick Poe, Kelly Nicolaisen. I still can't say that one. Faride Cuevas, David Carruthers, Mark Froman. We need a picture for you. Dale Franco, Dylan Dahl, Jesse Bauer. If you say them, a lot of them are here right now. Say hi. Woohoo! And another one who made the move, Morgan Sempner, made a move from Redfin. So Morgan got licensed 2017. She has been kind of like what Allison was talking about, one of those showing assistants for a long time. She was an associate agent, doing a lot of open houses, a lot of showings. She got really good at learning the market, doing all of those filters, right, for your buyers, and has decided that she wants to make a business move and work with clients from beginning to end, because that's a big downfall of it, right? She was always working with it and building rapport, and she said, I want to take these people all the way through and build a business, have some repeat referral clients. So we are super, super excited for Morgan. Welcome aboard. If you see her, say hey, and then ask her about some of her showing skills, because she's phenomenal at them. Been doing it for a long time, right? Yay, Morgan. Happy birthday to David Wild Oaks, Jen Lampy, Sherry English, Marsha Lockhart, very important one, by the way, if you didn't say happy birthday on Friday. We all have Marsha to thank for being here right now. And actually, technically, Quantum Leap, she'll say. Brady Humphreys, Brianna Beavis, Hannah Jensen, Ross Clausen, David Carruthers, Betty Sanchez, Ashley Gizboyd, Anthony Zapata, Jay Callan, Constance, Nakasha Custer, Cody Hayes, Miranda Silverthorne, Jeremy Neville, and Yuki. Happy birthday, gang. In my Florida one, we would have to sing the happy, happy birthday song, and it was terrible. Plus, it's so much worse on Zoom, so we're just gonna, you're welcome. And we're gonna get to Mr. Dan, selling real estate outside of the MREA model. Now, please understand, before Dawn goes to introduce Dan and Dawn, this is a real struggle for me. And we love Dan, and anyways, I'm really excited for this one. And I'm gonna let Dawn introduce Dan. challenge.
Okay, so I have to introduce Dan to you. Okay, when I first started, Dan had sold a bunch more houses than I thought was possible. And at night, about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, Dan would just wander around the office and say, "Hey, how you doing?" He would sit down and talk to me half an hour about what was going on, you know, and some ideas, and he would help me. It was truly magnanimous, truly unselfish, and I've respected him ever since and hopefully tried to emulate that. He's also quite an entrepreneur. He's had some ups and downs in his life, and he's come out a winner every time. Please listen to him. And this is really interesting because this is selling outside, you know, the MREA model. This is a whole different look at how to sell houses. Please give him your attention. Mr. Dan. Dan Pittsburgh.
Yeah! Okay. Do you want me to skip to that one yet?
Yeah, I'm not ready for that one.
Okay, we're not ready yet. We're just gonna look at Dan.
A little bit of an introduction.
Hold on,
So
let's
first of
see.
all, this is in no way intended to diss, you know, the
Thank
KWWA or
you.
MARA, but there's just lots of ways to skin a cat, and there's a couple things that I've gotten out of the system that I'm following right now. It's called the CPS3, the complete proven signature system, and like some of the things, the building blocks of this system, if I would have had them when I was doing 33 touch and the METs and the not METs and following the KW, the MREA system, I probably would have had more success. But you know, and the key things are like find some kind of system and follow it to the best of your ability. It's hard to follow them perfectly, but follow. And also, you need a little bit more of the. It's like, oh, I tried that and it didn't work. It's probably like, unless you did it for like a year or two, you probably didn't really try it. And it takes a little bit more to get results than what we want or that. So, but the MREA system is like will work for you if you just commit to it and do it. And I'm doing a different system that's working a better match for me. I guess that'd be the key thing. Find some kind of system that clicks with you in your world and say, yes, I see myself having success with this system, and do that one. That's what my key thing is. So a key thing that this system is based on is stop trying to position yourself as a realtor. And so now I'm kind of ready for this next slide. So if you go, you position yourself as a realtor, like if you Google realtors are and then don't finish it, Google, who's pretty smart based on what people think and often type in, gives you a bunch of suggested endings. And so you can kind of see what the Joe Q public thinks about realtors. So when you're positioning yourself as a realtor, you talk like a realtor, act like a realtor, look like a realtor, you're going to be fighting this baggage in people's minds. So part of my system that I'm doing is you don't try to look like a realtor or talk like a realtor. And a founding principle of this thing is like different is better than better. So that's one of the data. So being different, you don't have to, this is like very relieving for you. So you don't have to spend more money on marketing than Ben or some of the other longtime veterans or the people that have deep pockets. You just have to try to be a little bit different. Just like when someone comes in an open house or someone clicks on a realtor.com or a Zillow lead, they're probably not just clicking on, you didn't just get the lead. They probably got calls from 10 other realtors. And so if you can be different than the other 9 calls that they got, you got a good chance. So let's see, where do I want to go next from here? So one of the key things about this one is the freedom multiplier. So no, it's not. I didn't bring you a slide on that. So the freedom multiplier is basically something that you can do for yourself. And it actually has 4 main parts and then a 5th part. So in box 1, you write down like, okay, if I'm going to spend time helping a family get a house, what do I want for that? Like we're talking about commissions. So and right now it's in Whatcom County. I mean, it's not that hard. Say $600,000 house at 2.5% is going to be, it's going to be what? Who's 15,000? Yeah. So just say you want 15K. All right. So that's box 1. And now the thing that's a little bit different about the system that I'm in is that
If you're not, you got to, like, I'm probably getting about a D in the system. If I was going to on an A through F scale, I'm only at a D. Because this takes a little bit of discipline, and you really have to give up your ego. And like a lot of the things in the system make your head swivel around because they're counterintuitive, because you actually don't want to be too smart. I mean, Ben told me a long time ago, Dan, that you know, you're too smart. And what no, I didn't really get it at the time when he's telling me, but I kind of get it now. It's just like, stop thinking about stuff. Do it. Don't analyze, but you'll analyze your way out of activity, and you want to do the action. So stop thinking and start doing. You'll make more money. So one of the things that you have to do for this system, if you want to make more money, is if you're working with someone and you're not going to get 15,000, don't work with them. Refer them out. Give them to someone else in the office that has it. Their box one is a lower number, and then get half or whatever. So, and even coming from the mindset that you are going to be busy enough that you don't need to help everyone that's got a pulse and has given you some kind of indication that they might buy or sell something someday. I used to be on it, and like the size of your database is proportional to the amount of income and stuff like that. That's part of MREA. That's not part of this system. This system, like, I don't want lead. I got 4,800 people in my database from 20 years of doing it the traditional way. I was working 90 hours a week, 80 to 70 to 90 hours a week, chasing people that didn't want to be chased. And so I don't do that anymore. And so box 2, what goes in box 2, and this, if anyone's got questions, like this is meant to be kind of an introductory or a back and forth, a crowd participation thing. So in box 2, you put down like the characteristics as what does the client that you want to work with look like? So I don't know, from you guys, anyone out there, what do you want from give me a characteristic of someone that you want to work with.
Well qualified financially.
Okay. No, say qualified. I'll shorten it up. All right, who else has got something?
They are motivated.
Okay. Okay, what else?
Someone who's coachable.
Coachable, okay. And so what you mean by that they'll listen to you, they'll accept guidance, they'll accept help and things like that. So that's what I'm meaning by, I'm assuming that's what you mean by coachable. And they'll listen. So like when you tell them this is what you need to do, they go, oh, okay, I'm willing to do it. Okay, so that was a good one. Anybody else got anything else?
Nice.
Okay. What's that?
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. All right. So then how about, communication level? Do you want someone that like answers your phone calls and is willing to communicate with you?
Listen to you.
Okay.
Tell them.
Well, that's kind of coachable.
Yeah, that one came up while you're out of the room. We'll just say good at communicating. All right. And then a couple of ones that I've adopted into my box too. But now this is, everyone makes their own freedom multiplier. And what the freedom multiplier says for it, like if you follow the freedom multiplier, it's going to give you the freedom, the business you want, and add more freedom in your life. So you're not having to work 80 hours a week and still have the business that you want. So what's mine is I want to work with people that are willing to buy or sell at MV, market value. Like I don't need any buyers that, they want a $500,000 house for $375. I say, so I want my clients, that one's an important one. Okay. So you make your own box too. And then you're going to meet with people. Part of this system, you do an initial consultation that's 10 minutes long. That's it, 10, 15 minutes. And there's a part 3 to it that can take longer, kind of thing. But the core of it takes 10 minutes. And at the end of the 10 minutes, you're going to know if the person meets your box 2, and you're going to know if you want to work with them, and they're going to know if they want to work with you. And the cool thing about it, it's the same presentation for a buyer or a seller. It's one presentation You're kind of turning pages. You don't have to memorize a bunch of scripts. It's super easy. Anyhow, so it's nice to have one presentation. It just takes 10 minutes. And it's the same for buyer seller. So it's not, you don't have to memorize a bunch of stuff. Okay. And it's in a book and you just turn the pages. All right. So I do the initial consultation. And by that time, I know if that person fits my box 2 or not. Okay. And then box 3. This one's the tough one. Okay. It's like, so now who do you want to work with people that you described in box 2? Now box 3, what are you going to do to attract these kind of people so they want to work with you? So there's 2 parts to box 3. Who do you have to be, or who do you have to work on becoming? And like one thing that I added here on mine too also was to be to smile more, because I don't know, I'm an engineer background, I'm a little bit solid. I'm used to facts and figures, and actually this system has the most luck if you like. It's kind of like some of it's a little tongue in cheeky, and then you got its deliveries, everything. But you actually want to be as dumb as possible. Be as dumb as a rock to make more money. If you're too smart, you're not going to make money. Okay. So be as dumb as a rock. Even though I'm getting a hat made that says, I'm as dumb as a rock. Relax, I'm a pro. Anyhow, so, and again, that's why I said you got to put the ego aside, and a lot of this stuff makes your head spin. But anyhow, so for me, I know I wanted to be friendlier and less serious, and also the key thing is up here for my box 2. I have no chiselers. So, like, do you think the world goes around, like what goes around comes around? Like, if you want to work with people that can make, the other thing, box 2 can be kind of big. It's like someone that can make a decision. Okay. So if I want to work with people that can make a decision and take action, do you think that I have to be someone that can make a decision? So I got to be a better decision maker myself, and not so much Q&A. Shouldn't I just make the decision, and turns out good, turns out bad, doesn't matter, make a decision. And then the other thing for me I had to work on was to not be a chiseler. And I don't know if you guys kind of like that term, but have you ever gone on listing appointments and the people, you're showing your value proposition, and the person says, well, like, I don't really need to have drone photos, and I don't need, I only want to pay 2% because I don't need this service or that service or whatever. And what they're doing, what it feels like to me, is they're chiseling away at your value, and it makes you feel smaller, less important, and like they're trying to make you non-important so they can justify not paying. Okay, so I put no chiselers in here. If someone's a chiseler, it's like I don't work with them. And what I learned about here is that I had to stop being a chiseler. Chiseler in my box 3, that's what I had to become. So that's part 1 of box 3, and part 2 is do. So what activities are you going to do to get these people so they find you or you hook up with them, and then you write out what it might be. And so in this system, the CPS 3 system, he has 11 proven ways, and each one of the ways you're going to make a 300,000 GCI. Okay. I'm only doing 1 of the 11 ways, really, and maybe halfway on the other one, and then there's a 3rd one I'm going to start doing. But open houses are one of the 11 ways, and I've done like 3 in a year. So it's not that much. But you lift out your ways, whatever it is you're going to do, Zillow leads, whatever it is that you want to do. You write down what you're going to do to get the people, what activities you're actually going to do for lead generation. Okay, and then box 4, this one is you put your annual number. You want to make whatever it is, 300,000 GCI, and then of course you divide this by this, and then that tells you how many sides you're going to have to do. Okay, so this is your freedom multiplier, and what is going to give you freedom is like I'm only working with people in the top half of the market. Okay. Now, again, I cave on it sometimes and then I regret it. But anyhow, if you want your life to be simpler, you want to work on the top half of the market. Not so much, I mean, the commissions are bigger, but it's the main purpose is that people, it's a generality, it's not across the board thing, but people in the top half of the market, they understand life and they understand that life's not perfect. And when the fridge craps out during it's pending, like the seller just takes care of it, or they understand that it's not, doesn't turn into a deal killer. And when things go wrong, the people in the top half of the market can handle it so much, so you don't have to handle it. The transactions just go smoothly. And anyhow, so that's the freedom multiplier. And there's a lot to the system, and I only got so much time. So that, well, how do you do the slide? Just so basically, I've been doing this now for about 15 months, and so for 20 years before I started doing this system, I was trying to be a traditional realtor to the best of my ability, and I worked, I don't know, 60 to 80 hours a week for I don't know, 18 years, and I had 3 vacations in the 18 years that were like a week long. That was it. And so since I started this system about 15 months ago, I've been on, we went to spend a week on the Olympic Peninsula. We went to Vegas for a week. We've been to Minnesota. We went to Yellowstone for a week or 10 days. And we just got back from New York. And I don't know, so I work about 30 hours a week right now. And you can see that my income for the year closed already. It's 447,000 of GCI. Okay, and I have no assistant that I'm paying. So I have no salaries that I'm paying. I do have a transaction coordinator, so I pay a transaction coordinator, but it's $350, $375 a transaction. Very affordable. I'm not paying for Zillow leads. I'm not paying for Realtor.com leads. Anyhow, my net is pretty good compared to my gross. I'm way below. I'm not spending no 30% on expenses. Not even close. I'm not even spending 10% on expenses. Okay. So it's a pretty awesome system. And then, like I said, I think I've been on 3 vacations in the last year and 2 mini, like 4 or 5 day things. So 5 vacations, 30 hours a week. You can see what's in the hopper. So what's in the hopper and happening is there's 526K. That's just 2021 with 5 vacations, working 30 hours a week. So that's why I like this system, because it works for me. So I can do more later if anyone's interested. Don is true. I like to share. I like to help other people create the life and the business that they want. And if someone thinks that they want to do the system or know more about it, I'm happy to share. Yeah, I guess that's it.
I have one question for you.
Okay.
Great, and that is, dude, you've been in it for 18 years, right?
Yeah.
How much of that, I mean, is build up to this point too? I mean, would you think that a person their first year could do that? I mean, I know nothing's impossible. Or what factor does 18 years of the business in context have?
Well, it helps. Again, there's 11 ways in this system and in the CPS3 system to make 300,000 each of the 11 ways. So one of them is called Ultimate Humans. It doesn't call it a database, because we want to do a mind shift away from a traditional realtor to a different way of doing. You don't want to get in that baggage of sleazy, overpaid, whatever the realtors are, and having that kind of thing. So you don't want to come off like that. So it includes like changing the terminology. So I don't have a database. I have a maximum of 200 people that I call ultimate humans, and that means they're awesome people, the people that you want in your life. When you talk with them, you feel better, and you're helping them, and they're helping you, that kind of thing. So having the experience mostly made it so I had 4,800 people to choose my 200 out of. That's mostly it. And other than that, like, it doesn't matter. There's people in the CPS3 system that have got their license, and maybe they're at some people have been at a Keller Williams brokerage, and they did bold, and I don't know, they're struggling, and maybe one guy, Kai, out of Oakland, Now he's kind of in Oakland prices are pretty high, the San Francisco Bay Area. But so he was there for 8 months and his income was 0. Okay. And he was a little bit overwhelmed, like with the fire hose, like the information and classes and stuff to do. So he started doing this system, and his first year doing this system, he's at 480K, and he's had his license for what, 12 months. So it's actually, maybe I should answer your question better. The longer you've been in the business, the harder the system's probably going to be for you, because you're going to learn, you're going to have to unlearn a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, because I don't want leads. The size of my business is not proportional to my database.
Well, I mean, if I might be so, of that 20 whatever homes you sold, how many did you know before 15 months ago?
Well, here on this far column over here, where it comes from. So I got one, let's see, there's 2 up there at the top that say past client. And then there's some that says past client U200. So if it says U200, it means that I'm using the ultimate human system to communicate with them. And if it just says past client, that would mean it's just one of my past clients that called me, and I wasn't really doing the system with them. But you can see that the bulk of this stuff either is U200 things. That's the main one I'm doing. I got one lender referral, which is part of one of the 11 ways. And I'm not really working that one too much, but I started it. I got one deal from it, so I should keep on doing it. And then there's a couple of friend referrals. So I don't know, 80% of my business comes from doing the system, and 20% of the business comes from my 20 years of experience. Does that help answer your question?
Sure. No, it's like you're reinventing yourself.
Yeah. I know. Does anybody have any questions for me? Maddie? Oh, and
I have
like,
no questions.
the cool thing about this too also is like you want to really just help people. So that instead of when someone comes in to an open house or is looking for leads, rather than thinking them, oh, how am I going to get this person? Because a little bit of a shift in yourself. Like here's a person that's got a problem. It's like, how am I going to help this person make their life better? And come from that point of view, and it's gonna help. Like if they know that, they're going to like you and they're going to end up working with you. But that's not why. You have to be genuine and want to help them. And again, that will help too. Anyhow, that's just a little introduction.
I was gonna ask if there was like.
No, but so to Kellerize everything that Dan just said, find a system that works for you.
Yeah.
Find a way to be authentic to who you are. Be different, right? Don't be a secret agent, to use some boldology. And stick with it, right? And in the spirit of sharing and growing, Dan has made himself available. If you do want to learn more about it, reach out to him. We will get you guys his contact info. He has generously offered to like set time aside, whatever works better, to talk more about it.
I mean, if it's one person, it'll just be one-on-one, whatever. But if like 3 or 4 people want to know about it, we'll just put it on the calendar, and once a week, just like how we have forms and learn how to write contracts, I'll put in a CPS 3 breakout session once a week. And
I can say that Dan does stick to his call times. Like I had to ask him, I'm like, please, Dan, our sales meetings are Tuesday at 11. And he's like, well, that's when I make my calls, Maddie. Dan sticks to his call times. And if you go and knock on the door, he's making calls. And if you want to listen to how he makes calls, he will say, come and make calls. Which I know for me, when I started, I found somebody who was really good at cold calling, and I just listened to what he did. So it was helpful. So in the true spirit of everybody is better together, Dan has made himself available. So if you want to know more about it, reach out and we will get something together.
And then I know Rick Lopes on Don's team is like listening to a Zabrocki seminar. So and I'll be interested in, like, I'm kind of hanging out there, but he might say it sucked. I hated it. It's possible, but he's doing a little 2.5-day seminar. Like today's day 2. He's doing it right now, so we can ask him if he thought it was helpful, and we can ask Don if he brings anything to the team that helps the team.
There is not one way to do real estate, right? Everybody does real estate differently. Find what works for you. Stick with it. Do the work. And awesome things come.
Yeah, even part of this system is actually longer than most people have the patience for. But he said, hey, if you're not, the number that he actually uses is 3 years. So do something. Because the first year, you're probably not doing the system. You might think you're doing the system, but you're probably screwing it up and you're probably doing it not very good. So, and the second year, maybe you're doing at least you're doing the system. At the end of the third year, you actually got it down, and then you're not going to know if it works. So if you tried something for 6 months, you can't. That's not long enough to say that doesn't work because you haven't done it long enough.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Good.
Awesome, you
Question?
guys.
How awesome is Dan? Dan, D-Man. All right, that is what we got. We look forward to seeing you all. Next Tuesday is our network-wide one. So Via will be on Zoom. We can watch it here just like we're doing now. She will be talking about the overarching market statistics and our network-wide award people. So that one is really good to know your numbers so that we can speak the real estate language and sound like a pro. Plus build your referral basis of other people who are in the market in the network, right? And then the 21st, we're having our potluck. So connect with Benna, tell her what you're bringing right here, 11 o'clock Tuesday every week. No break. Have an awesome day. Go be awesome and reach out to Dan if you need him.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.